And welcome to Daily Space Weather, folks. Looking at the sun on 171 angstroms, we see a coronal mass ejection on the far side, which could be propagating its way around to the Earth side. We're not exactly sure. We got to watch it throughout the day. We see a bunch of plasma filaments down there in the southwest. Let's check it out. And there's that filamentary region over there. And when you see it in a 304 angstroms view, you'll agree. And there it is in 304 angstroms. This could release and cause a Earth-facing coronal mass ejection, folks. It's entirely possible. And we see a lot of ejecta being blasted out the non-Earth side. Here's the view from stereo A. And once again, we see a coronal mass ejection facing the opposite direction of the Earth, which would be to your right, out here toward where my pointer is. Anyway, we do see some buildup on the Earth-facing side also, so that might be something to look at throughout the day today. And check out the size of those filaments, folks. Very large plasma filaments there, especially on the southwestern limb. And I just wanted to remind everybody that we've started looking at the proton flux, especially as solar activity begins to rise up to another solar maximum, which we're very excited about. And I would remind everybody that cosmic rays are made about 90% of protons, folks. And if you want to monitor cosmic rays yourself, check out the Network of Cosmic Rays station, or watch our video from yesterday. Now we see some missing data here, as we see the GOES 15 and GOES 16 long and short X-ray sensors not showing data here for the last 12 hours or so. We don't really see any kind of X-ray flaring. We see some other missing data too. We'll get to it in a minute. 10.7 centimeter radio flux still at 71 solar flux units. KP index has dropped down to 1, having been at 3 a couple of times over the past 24 hours. Solar wind density has ramped down. Solar wind speed has been quite flat over the last 24 hours. Here's the real-time data from the Discover. BTBZ are uneventful. Phi angle is at about 260 right now. Solar wind density 3 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed 346 kilometers per second. And here's a geospace movie. We do see some quite odd ground magnetic perturbations. We'll show you in a minute. Here's 4 hours of data from geospace. And this is several Earth diameters, folks. You can see the Earth designated by the light and dark circle in the middle. Not a lot to comment on there, but quite a lot to comment on here. So we see some purely magnetic perturbations here coming out of the southwestern U.S., extending all the way from the Canadian North Pole all the way down into Hawaii and beyond, into the South Pacific. On the South Pole side, we see significant creep into the southern Indian Ocean also. And it's quite obvious that the South Pole is actually located in the southern Indian Ocean. We'll let that play through a second time, especially in light of those Canadian magnetic pole creeps. Right there you can see the Canadian magnetic pole magnetism creeping all the way down to Hawaii and well beyond to the equator. That thing refreshed automatically. I'll let that play. If you want to display this image on your computer all day long, it'll just sit there and keep refreshing, which is kind of cool, unless you're shooting a video and it messes up your cut. Anyway, significant magnetic perturbations coming out of Hawaii once again. And we failed on our electron flux forecast once again, folks. The electron flux is completely cratered. The levels of electrons out there in the closest Van Allen belt to the ionosphere, which is where the GOES are doing the measurements, by the way, right at the F layer of the ionosphere. Very low levels of electron flux. And if anybody was looking for this page here, the index of images, which has everything from the solar wind stuff to magnetic information, charging hazards, electron flux, X-ray flux, etc., and some actual solar images. We've amended the links in the description, so check those out. Next, we'll look at the ionosphere, and here's 6 hours of data there. And we play all of these things each day, so you don't have to. Gathering a ton of relevant information. And the ionosphere is looking a little bit less anomalous than it's been the last few days. We'll let that play through a second time and then bring up the last image. And that one coming in at about 9:30 UT, I believe. 9:15 UT. 9:30. Anyway, there's the latest image, looking a little bit less anomalous than it has been. And there's the GOES magnetometer, and we've lost data from the GOES 14. Let's hope it hasn't taken any damage. I don't see any data on the other instruments to indicate that it would have. But there's the data, at least from the GOES 16. Here's the Gong 2 data, looking at the top view ecliptic plane field plot as we do daily. And not a lot to comment on there. Earth solidly in the South Pole polarity current sheet, shown on the Gong 2 in red. Now, the largest earthquake of the past 24 occurred near a volcano, not under it. Here's the location of that. And here's the location of the volcano, if you're wondering. Tanaga Volcano, located on Tanaga Island, is out in the Aleutian chain. The earthquake happened out here, as you can see from this map, over here somewhere. And the volcano is over here, so not particularly magmatic looking activity there, but a large volcano. Let's check for tsunamis. And according to tsunami.gov, no warning, advisory, watch, or threat. It did show up on the map, and no indication that 6.3 magnitude quake caused any tsunamis. So don't always trust it, folks, but there's the information. And that quake out in the Aleutians, already downgraded to a 6.2, occurred at 5:53 this morning. So only a few hours ago, folks. And let's go down the rest of the list. Here's a deep quake at Argentina. So a little earthquake uptick here, folks. And I'm just going to scroll up the list. There's a very shallow quake at Alaska. A bunch of aftershocks also happening there. And we're going to look at a couple of those to see if any of them did occur underneath the caldera of Tanaga Volcano. There's a deep quake at Argentina, an extremely deep quake, the deepest I've ever seen in South America, 538 kilometers at a 4.8 magnitude. And while I'm not any sort of authority on earthquakes, I do look at them every day. Another deep quake, this one near the Mariana Islands at a 5.1 magnitude and just under 100 kilometers depth. Again, there's that 6.3 downgraded to 6.2 Tanaga volcano area quake. And we see some other quakes in the area there. Let's just take a look at those. For instance, this one happened actually nowhere near Tanaga Island. And this one here is about a 3.8 magnitude. I think this one came in as we did show prep. Also out in the Bering Sea there, not under the magma chamber, not under the caldera at least. Could be part of the magma chamber, but not under the caldera. And again, we've placed that pin there where the Tanaga Island volcano is located, just to show you the relationship between the earthquake location and the actual volcano. Terrible news for American firefighting and firefighting in general, as 3 Americans are killed in a C-130 air tanker crash while fighting bushfires in Australia. Hoping this is not a high school graduating classmate, as he is a high-ranking member of the, I believe it's the U.S. Park Service, the U.S. Forestry Service firefighters. He's like a real smoke jumper or whatever they call it. So apparently no survivors in this crash. Please keep firefighting crews in Australia in your prayers. We've got another volcano here. We've noted another volcano on the windy.com map. This is where Dacono is located, as it is back on the list. And that's the location of that. Let's zoom out and look at pressure maps. And this is the GFS forecast, folks. It's windy.com. They've got a great mobile app. Perhaps check that out. And those are the anticipated spots where pressure will be. And every day or two, we put a new volcano on a new volcano or other item of interest, I'll say, on the map, to amuse and entertain our viewers as they learn about all kinds of weird geospace stuff and other things like that. And next, here's the volcano list featuring Kaluchevskoy on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Now back to exploding, an uptick there, producing a 22,000-foot ash plume. Mount Aso, flight level 6,000 there. Kuchinarabu Jima, flight level 3,000 there. Sanjiangapi exploding, flight level 10,000 there. Dacono, back to erupting, exploding, 6,000-foot ash plume there. Popocatépetl, volcanic emissions observed in satellite. Sangay, flight level 21,000 there. Revenador exploding, as well as Sangay. 19,000-foot plume there down in Ecuador, coming out of the caldera of Revenador. And while we're unable to detect emissions from Sabancaya, please do not attempt to do a back handspring over the caldera there. A little bit of lightning in the Gulf of Mexico. Check out lightningmaps.org next time you hear thunder. It looks like Australia's been hit. The entire eastern and northeastern portion of the country. lightningmaps.org. It's a great resource. It's completely free, folks. There are the jet streams on nullschool.net, and they are all over the place. Enough said. Here's the Eastern world's jet streams. We always center it on India. And let's look at some more weather data. Here's a U.S. Doppler radar map, and we see a very heavy and very well-defined snow system reaching all the way down into northeast Texas. And indeed, even the corner of Louisiana looks like it's getting some snow. Very heavy system there. And it looks like it's taking its good old time moving. Let's look at the water vapor map. And there's what's going on in the water vapor. And we're going to zoom in on this convergence zone around the Texas-Louisiana border. as a bunch of dry, massive air smashes and mashes its way into Louisiana, massive pressure gradients are created, and hopefully sashes aren't negated. Hopefully you're not hated if you're flying a plane over the area, as you'll experience extreme turbulence, and you may think you're falling from the sky, especially if you're going from west to east over that area. And we'll also take a quick look at this low here over Bermuda, as it's quite scenic for all of you weather pornography buffs. Some great examples of Hall current features in there, especially on the convergence zones. And it's quite a powerful low, apparently. And by the way, if you enjoy the content, please press like and subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your foes, share on social media. Our numbers are all over the place, and it makes absolutely no sense. And please consider becoming a patron if you haven't already done so. We need a lot more funding to accomplish our goals for the year 2020, although we are getting there thanks to our patrons. Maybe if we got a little less fines from the government, we would have a better time upgrading our process. In any case, check out patreon.com/smashomash. Consider joining at the gold level, as you'll get all kinds of perks that nobody else on the entire internet can obtain. Also, head to smashomash.org. We implore you. Scroll down here, click on the link, check out the Smash forum, or click on these other links up here. We've got all kinds of other social media sites, so check that out. Head to the forums. We've got all kinds of human health stories. In fact, we just put up another one today. Hopefully that's a teaser sufficient to get you to head to smashomash.com/forum and set up a login. And we may only make one video today. Not sure, folks. There could be a second one coming. We're not entirely sure. But welcome to the cosmology segment. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of different things, such as the locations of objects in the solar system. There's where they currently are on today, January 23rd, 2020. Looks like new moon is tomorrow. And there's where things will be in a week, as Venus is making its way past Uranus. Please understand the distinction between Uranus and your elbow, as the one is a planet and the other one is a body part. Here's where stuff is above my head, something I'm always interested in. It's currently 4:53 in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, where I'm located, as Mars just came over the horizon. Where were you when Deneb rose? Let's talk about Betelgeuse, or Betelgeuse, or whatever you want to call it. The largest single object visible to the naked eye alone has been getting fainter. It's all over the internet. You'll hear all about it. And nobody knows why. And it's good news, folks. You know why? Well, I hope Betelgeuse goes supernova during my lifetime, because it will challenge the HR diagram, the life cycles of stars, the idea that stars die, which has never been seen, by the way. We've seen stars completely wink out and new stars appear, but there's no observational indication that supernovae cause stars to go out of existence. So we'd be very interested to see Betelgeuse go off and go nova. We just call it nova, not supernova, since all stars are variable stars, which is going to give the AAVSO a lot of work to do. That's the American Association for the Study of Variable Objects. And yeah, it's, let's just put it this way. It would be the most significant event happening in nature throughout human lives, as this thing would be visible in the daytime sky for possibly years, but at least several weeks. And let's just say people would freak out if this thing suddenly went nova, as it could be even brighter than the moon, illuminating the night sky, casting shadows at night, etc. Let's just say people would freak out just a tad. Now, the dimming of Betelgeuse could be caused by various different things, whether it's changes in its electron flux, It could be electrical current. It could be a cloud of matter in between it. It could be changes in its magnetic fields. We simply don't know. It could be something as basic as a cloud of dust in between us and the star. It's about 600 light years away, and it's not expected to have any significant direct effects, like proton effects or anything like that, if it does nova. And let's talk about Zooniverse, going out a little bit farther. Well, let's just say a lot farther. We need humans to classify galaxies, as computers are incapable of doing this. So this one is too interesting to pass up. I'm going to have to do it during the episode here, as this is a weird double galaxy. And sure looks like an interaction there. I'm not sure what is going on. So we're going to have to say features. And this will give you a good demonstration if you haven't checked out Galaxy Zoo yet. It's not an edge-on disk. It does not feature a bar. There is no sign of a spiral arm pattern. I'm going to say there's a large bulge. And it looks like a triple. It's very, very strange. I'm going to say merging. I'm going to say ring, lens or arc, irregular, dust lane, overlap, and something else. I've literally checked every box for this one. So anyway, we need citizen scientists to do the work on this. Here's another odd galaxy. Will you be the astronomer to classify that galaxy? Let's talk about gold coins. Switzerland has minted the smallest one in the world. This 1/4 franc gold coin featuring Einstein's face sticking out his tongue. By the Swiss Mint. Check it out. It's the smallest gold coin in the world. We'll leave links to that below the video, as well as this AP article. Weighing in at 0.063 grams, or 1/500th of an ounce. It has a nominal value of 1/4 Swiss francs, so it's worth about 1/4. And it's only 2.96 millimeters in diameter, folks. So that is a tiny coin. That is tiny to say the least. And I think it's a good idea, as it enhances folks' ability to use real money instead of this paper fiat nonsense that people call money, which is actually currency and has zero intrinsic value. Let's touch on crypto real quick, as our viewers may be interested in that. Bitcoin has seen a support level happen here around 8,400 according to CNBC's 1-year chart. There's the 1-year chart of Bitcoin as reported by the Coinbase, and the reason why we report the exchange is because the volume data can be jacked up. So some interest having come back to the crypto market is a good thing for you crypto investors out there. Here is the Ethereum quote for the same time frame, as it has seen a support level happen also around 160. 163 is showing up as a support level now. Again, that's the 1-year chart of Ethereum as reported by Coinbase. And we've gone the extra mile today regarding cryptocurrency investing, and we've included a link where we'll each earn free cryptocurrency if you use my link. So please click the link. It's below the video. It's coinbase.com/join/nigro_5. If you don't want to type all that in, just again, click the description below the video. You'll earn free crypto. And there will be future offers where you can earn free crypto by learning about various types of cryptocurrency. So check that out and make us both some cash. And you can cash it in immediately, folks. You just have to set up a Coinbase account. It's all free, so check that out. Earn free crypto via our Coinbase link. Talk about coronavirus real quick. China's Wuhan is shut down. The entire province, the entire city rather, is shut down because we see deaths rise to 540, more than 540 cases. Deaths rose to 17 and more than 540 cases confirmed at the city of Wuhan, believed to be the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. You want to learn more about coronavirus? We've put an article on smAsho.com/forum about it. So check that out. 2 different articles, including one from SciTech Daily, just posted today, about how it appears to have come from bats, snakes, or a combination of bats and snakes. So that article, as well as the link to the smashamash.com/forum article below the video. Let's talk about government overreach, as I've become a victim of government overreach, where a scum-sucking, bottom-feeding code enforcement officer, which, by the way, is the most pathetic branch of government, told us to cut down a hedge, and then when we didn't trim the hedge, got fined for not trimming the hedge because they told us to cut it all the way down. So we'll be appealing that nonsense, looking for legal representation, and looking for the local code enforcement officer to be audited. And shout out to Channel 69 WFMZ. Get back to me about the article. Let's shine light on this evil the way Zero Hedge does. I don't know if you're familiar with the grass Gestapo. People will come over and measure your lawn and weeds, and there's all kinds of silly violations, likely where you live too. People will come over and they'll trespass and they'll act like complete idiots. And some of them will act in a very unprofessional and heavy-handed manner, handling the entire process ham-fistedly, as our local code enforcement officer, Sandy Nicolo, has. So we'll be fined $241.25, but we'll be taking it to the Court of Common Pleas and suggesting retirement for overreaching politicians, as code enforcement is the lowest rung of disgusting bureaucracy. By the way, if you enjoy the content, please press like and subscribe on YouTube, and share on your social media. Perhaps one of these days we'll even make it to 1,500 subscribers. Dare I dream. And by the way, thanks, Smash team, for tuning in. We've got bonus features. It's the That Is an Ass and That Is a Hole in the Ground section, where we go vulgarity free, and we encourage our viewers, friends and foes, to understand the distinction between the two. Let's talk about entropy. Governor Jerry Brown is a human walking pile of entropy. The doomsday clock is going to be updated. Now, the doomsday clock is a bunch of science alarmism, and I think it's idiotic. And it's probably going to they're probably going to take time off of it. They're probably going to make it closer to midnight, because humanity now faces two simultaneous existential threats, either of which could cause extreme concern and immediate attention. Guess what they are? Nuclear weapons and climate change, folks. As a bunch of people who don't know their from a hole in the ground believe that climate change is caused by human carbon dioxide emissions. What a joke. Let's talk about the sun. It doesn't have any sunspots. And here's the latest intensity gram, and you can see as well as I can that there are no sunspots, but there's still activity happening. We're going to show you a little more in a minute. First, we're going to show you the colorized magnetogram, most latest image of that. Most late image, latest image. Not a lot of magnetic complexity at all. And here's a 48-hour video in 131 angstroms. And we see some anomalous vibrations at the end. There you have that happening. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, we are out. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Remember to stare at the sun, don't drink, and if you drink, don't drive, and since it'll never be now again, may that solar wind be at your back, and that atherosclerosis absent from your veins.